And it's time now for our 6 Steps Home segment and more. And carrying forth for the partnership of Jerome Niedorf and Frank Gargano, we have Jerome Niedorf. Jerome, welcome back to the show.
Good morning.
Let's sort of do a review, because as the House Detective is on each week, what have we done the first couple of weeks and that will lead us into this morning's discussion?
Okay, 2 weeks ago, we talked about qualifying percentages and how much of a house payment someone could have depending upon what their income is. And today what we're going to do is dissect as far as what is countable employment, what is countable income. Talk about, we're in Las Vegas, so we're going to talk about tip income and income that a lot of times doesn't make it on a person's tax returns. So we're going to be covering that segment.
Okay, so what's a good starting point for
Well,
that?
a good starting point is what I was talking about. But first of all, what was really interesting this past week on Yahoo, on Tuesday as a matter of fact, they had a news segment thing on there, as they do, talking about the top 5 places in the United States to buy a home, and Las Vegas is number 4. And I thought it was really interesting because a lot of people talk about the foreclosures and what's happening, and this article addressed the fact that one of the reasons Las Vegas is a good place to buy a home in the top 5 in the nation is because the prices have already come down. We went into the bad times first, so we're going to be coming out of it first. And we're seeing real investors coming back in the market, which is the first sign of spring, as I say, because when the person comes in, puts 20-30% down because they're going to hold the house 5 or 10 years, those are the real buyers. So it's time the people that have been sitting on their hands to go out and do something.
And I would think one of the biggest keys that makes it a good market is the bad side. It makes it the good size is that there is a selection and people have a choice.
That is correct.
We talked either last week or the week before the advantages of between a new or a resale or previously owned home, and in the previously owned home department, it's got to be good.
Oh, it is. It really is. And this is why when we're talking about qualifying for a home and the amount of house that they can afford, this helps the house selection on what people can afford. Interest rates are below 6% again, which I never thought I would see until the next bad time. But this is really good. And as far as their employment, to piggyback off of step 1 within 6 steps home, typically what we're looking for when someone qualifies for a home is 2 years employment. If they've had an employment gap, we need to address what happened. If their income, more than 25% of it is a source other than salary, we need to delve a little deeper into what their income is.
How do you do that?
Okay, well, we can do it by tax returns. Depends upon if it's broken down on their paycheck stub, because if you're a dealer, your tip allocation is going to show, your tip contract is going to show. If you're, for example, I'm doing a loan for an auto mechanic right now. They're on piecework or commission just like everyone else is. If no one brings their car in to get fixed, they don't make any money this week. If everyone comes in next week, they work overtime, but they're paid by the job. And so consequently, we need to break that down. And the reason we're looking for 2 years employment is we typically need to average their income over the last 2 years.
Interesting. Okay. How does this affect the underwriting, since you're in the mortgage business? Because the big change is the verification or proof that you are making what you say you are making. I think the FHA has had an impact on the house buying market as opposed to the old standard conventional loan where you needed X% down.
Well, the thing of it is, and you're saying FHA having an impact, I'm in my 31st year in this industry, and FHA has always been the standard, even back in the 70s. And it's just that when house prices got up above where the FHA limit is, for Las Vegas, we can do FHA loans up to $304,000. FHA comes back into play. I sat with a customer this last week, and between an FHA loan at the same interest rate as a conventional loan, under FHA they can put 3% down. Conventional is 5% down. The payment was $2 difference. and so consequently do a $300,000 home instead of putting 15 grand down. All they need is 9 grand down, and to come up with the same payment, it's really a benefit to the borrower getting in. And I locked 2 FHA loans last week at 5 3/4, which is a great interest rate.
It really is. Okay, to sort of wind around, you have this 6 Steps Home program, which are the 6 steps to being able to buy a home. You sort of switch gears that you're going to be doing some one-on-one consultation with these people. Give us a brief overview of how that would work.
Okay, here's what Frank and I have found. A lot of people, depending upon where they're at, aren't available on Wednesday evening or whatever, and so they've either been calling Frank or they've been calling me saying, hey, can I come in and sit down and show you what my individual financing situation is, not doing the class? And I say, absolutely. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a loan officer. I meet with people one-on-one. And so consequently, some people thought, well, gee, they couldn't get to us, and they really can. All they have to do is call us, and I think my number's on the screen, or my cellular is 595-4118. Both Frank and I are very accessible for the individual needs, and especially on Frank's end, a lot of people need to sell a home. We're doing a home buying seminar. Well, some people need to sell their home before they buy, so both Frank and I are very much available.
Okay, the 2 telephone numbers, your cell and your 6-step home number, twice more.
Six Steps Home is 992-8091.
Okay.
And my cellular is 595-4118. And they can also find us on the web, the numeric 6stepshome.com, and just log into the website and see what the classes are about. But by all means, if they have questions, call us. And refinances are really hot now. So.
Good. That's a subject to come up, refinancing.